Hello and welcome back to Mads World. I'm your host Mads and I hope you've been enjoying the show so far. If you have, please remember to subscribe, rate and review the podcast on your favourite listening platform and follow me on Instagram. It's at madsworld.mp3. This week, I'm joined by my gorgeous friend Nikki for part 2 of Stranger Flings, Weird Sex Stories. If you haven't heard part 1 of this episode, go back and listen to season 2, episode 2 with my friend Sam. Totally worth it. Because so many of you love that ep, I've revived it for a part 2 with my great friend Nikki Somers. I met Nikki at a hostel in Budapest years ago and we've been mates ever since. She's bloody hilarious, so I've asked her to join me in reading your best submissions alongside a couple of our own Stranger Flings. Hello, gorgeous, gorgeous Nikki.
Hello.
Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're on the podcast. You've been a day one supporter of Mads World and you're finally here doing your own episode. How do you feel?
I am excited. I'm nervous. Long-time listener. I've listened to every pod.
Yes.
So I'm just happy to be here.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to have you. So we met a few years ago at a hostel in Budapest called Retox and had one of the most wildest weeks of our life, which I think maybe we should do a whole podcast about that hostel and maybe get some like guests in because just some of the most insane shit that I've ever seen happened in that hostel. Like
a Retox reunion on Mads World.
It would be amazing. I saw someone stick a dildo to a roof on a 3-person shoulder ride. I saw a threesome in the corner of the hostel. I saw a guy suck another guy off and then throw up on that same guy. Saw a lot of stuff.
Saw a Jewish man playing catch with bacon.
Yeah, bought a big slab of bacon because he was Jewish and was swinging around, and apparently it was fine because he wasn't eating it. So let's get stuck into our speed date round because I've got some really good questions I want to ask you and you just kill me. So let's get into them. What is the most ridiculous fact that you know?
See, this one's going to be disappointing and I apologise. I have like no general knowledge. Like I'm shit at a pub quiz. You don't want me on your team. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like I don't have anything. And I've honestly been racking my brain and I didn't want to cheat and Google anything.
That's okay because I've got a really good one that we can talk about.
You're going to carry the team.
I'm going to carry the team here. The best fact that I know is that raccoons can squeeze down to a 2-inch diameter hole and your butthole can stretch to like 8 inches diameter, which means I think 4 raccoons could crawl into your bum at the same time and just go inside your rectum.
That's so disturbing.
So I don't know if anyone's ever tried it. Please reach out if you have. It's just the craziest thing I've ever heard. And also, I just, like 8 inches diameter is quite large. And I don't know who's figured that out, that the bumhole can stretch that big, but you know.
Is it like verified? Has a scientist out there verified that this is a real fact?
The internet's verified it and that's enough for me. So my next question is, what is something that everyone looks stupid doing?
Again, something I've been racking my brain over, but I've come up with carrying a hot drink in a mug.
Okay, yeah, because you're trying to balance it. It's slopping out the side. And even if you have a crush on a guy at work and you see them carrying a hot drink, that's an ick for me.
It's an ick. I was coming back to my desk the other day, and this is where I thought of it. And my colleague just looked at me and he's like, "Why do you look so awkward doing that?"
Yeah, I think it's that and just doing normal things like chasing the bus or like trying to get up to the train door and like getting it shut in your face. It's things that can just turn you off someone, even if you really like them. It just shatters that illusion that they're in control of the situation.
I know. I was thinking as well, like, sorry, I'm cheating having 2 here, but like, you know, a lot of people say a boy in a bath is an ick, but I think girls having a bath look just as dumb.
Yeah, literally the other day, my friend Sam told me that her housemate just came in and chatted to her while she was in the bath, and I was just imagining like baby Voldemort curled up under that seat at King's Cross. Like you're just like so naked and small in this giant tub. Like it's humiliating.
I couldn't agree more.
So good. So my next question is, what is the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn?
I am quite partial to a costume.
Yeah, you love a costume.
Love a costume. Love, wearing stupid things. So it takes a lot to embarrass me. And I also think that my fashion sense is basically non-existent. Like, I'm not out there wearing something cool that's going to be embarrassing in like 2 years' time. So I had to dig through the archives.
Good.
And it's a combination of what I'm wearing is embarrassing and what I'm doing is embarrassing. So I must have been about 8, I think. And for the school play, for whatever reason, I was Louis the Fly.
It's in the fly from, there's an ad in Australia, everyone in the UK listening, is this the fly from the Mortine ad?
This is the fly from the Mortine ad. And so my mum had like made a costume of she'd like stuffed pairs of tights with newspaper and stuck it to me so that I had like 6 bug legs, and then got wire coat hangers and put more stuff around them, and then I'm wearing goggles, and I had to stand up in front of the whole school and sing the Louis the Fly song.
Like the Mortine ad song. Can you sing it for us now, please?
Well, I can't sing it, but I can play it for you. Something I've prepared for the pod.
Great, let's play it.
Spreading disease with the greatest of ease, straight from rubbish hip to you. I'm bad and mean and mighty unclean, afraid of no one except the man with the can of Mortine.
Oh my God.
I will send you the photos.
Yeah, I need the pics. We can put them on my Instagram stories on the podcast. So if you're listening to this, just go and look at my highlights. I'll make a Mortine Nikki the Fly podcast. What's his name? Louis the Fly.
Louis the Fly.
I love that. You know what? I have another answer for you for this answer.
I know what's coming because this came up in my Facebook memories 2 days ago.
Yeah. Is it the time when we went bowling, but for some reason you wore mini pajama shorts and a pajama top? And why did that happen?
I don't know. Honestly, there wasn't like, the thing is we'd all been out like in a park that day, and I was dressed completely normal. So I must have gotten into the pajamas to go out.
We spent the day at the park dressed. It was cold. Like, it was, if this was in your Facebook memories, it's currently January, so it's like the coldest time. And then suddenly we're in a bowling alley, and I was like, where did you get those pajamas? And also, why are they mini shorts and a little top? And I was just like, what the fuck?
So many questions.
Yeah, and they'll remain unanswered. So my next question is, what is the opposite of a koala?
See, this one really threw me, and I didn't know if it was some kind of trick question. There was a lot of possibilities, but I've come up with something quite specific.
Go.
And it's a naked mole rat, but not just a regular naked mole rat. Yep. Specifically the one from Kim Possible.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's like a shaved version of a koala.
It's almost like an inside-out koala.
Oh, my God. See, I was going to go with something like some sort of swimming bird because because a koala would not be able to swim or fly, and it doesn't have a beak and it doesn't have feathers, but you've just turned the koala inside out. That's really disturbing. But, so I'd also like to hear everyone out there's opinions on what you think the opposite of a koala is, because this question, I was just Googling weird questions and this came up and I was like, who the fuck wrote that? Like, anyway, lots of swearing on this podcast, but you know what? You're not a celebrity guest, so we can do whatever we want.
Hang on.
Wait.
I have a blue tick on Instagram.
Which you photoshopped into your profile picture, but we won't talk about that. The next question is, and my last question for this round is, what is the weirdest thing you've seen in someone else's home?
So I've cheated on this one a little bit because it wasn't in their home. It was actually kept in their like shed.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh, fuck.
My best friend growing up had a mummified cat called Igor.
No.
They kept in a shoebox in their shed, and they would just like whip it out every few months. Like Igor would just come out.
Oh my God. What did they like? Was it their pet?
I was trying to think about that, and I was like, was it their pet or was it something that they like was it roadkill? And I can't remember.
That's insane. How old was this person?
So this was So this was like my best friend growing up, and it was her dad's mummified cat.
Oh my God. So it was a grown man.
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck?
Like a 40-year-old man with a child.
Oh my God. See, that's the thing that I realized one day in school. I was like, all these weird kids and all these like freaks around me are going to be adults one day with responsibilities and kids. And then you look around yourself now and you're like, you see your friends that are teachers and you're like, is this what my teachers did when I was in school?
Biggest one for me. Like you see teachers going to like 3-day festivals out on a bender, and you're just like, no way did Mr. Fudge, my music teacher, like put down the guitar on Friday and then
Oh God. See, my answer for this question, the weirdest thing I've seen in someone's home, I've seen it in a few homes in England, and this is going to shock people in Australia, but some English people have carpeted bathrooms.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I first came across this in a place where I was like looking to rent.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Why?
And I just think, because I'm kind of a bit of a germaphobe since COVID, and even in my regular bathroom, I'm like, it's gross in here. Like, I don't want to spend a lot of time in there. They just can like sense the germs around me. But if there's a carpeted bathroom, just the stories that carpet would have and the germs that it would have, like,
I mean, especially around a toilet.
Yeah,
like all the rest of it's gross anyway. Like moist, like moldy carpet from the bath. Like getting out of the bath and stepping on like dirty carpet, like the whole thing is disgusting. But around a toilet,
and guys, like, have you ever had a house party? And guys, like drunk guys can't aim, and there's just piss on the floor and stuff. Like they're just pissing in that little spongy little carpet. Like, oh God, it's foul. So
it's vile.
In the vein of disgusting things, this podcast is episode 2 of Weird Sex Stories, and we don't want to kink shame, so I've tried to leave anything that might be considered a kink out, and it's just disgusting things that have happened to us and to everyone out there listening who have submitted their stories. So I wanted to know if you had a weird sex story or just a hilarious, disgusting tale to share with us on the podcast today, Nikki.
You know what? I've come up with one.
Okay.
It's not great.
Okay.
I was thinking about it. Like my dating history before getting into a relationship was diabolical. Like, and I would have the worst dates in the world, and there's so many stories, but my sex life, I just don't think there's that many funny or tragic things that happened to me, thankfully.
Okay. Thankfully.
But there was this one guy that I was seeing, and I think it might have even been like the first time that we slept together.
Mm-hmm. And
we start getting into it, and he turns around and he's like, should we FaceTime Lorraine? Lorraine was his mum.
What?
Like, why are you saying this now?
And say what?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's happened to me before, but he started FaceTiming his baby cousins on our first date, and I was like, no. And he started calling me Auntie Mads, and I was like, first of all,
no.
I wouldn't be their auntie because they're your cousins, so you've just got that wrong. And also, it's just weird. But this is so gross, and I actually can't believe I'm about to share this story, but it's really fucked up. So I was seeing this guy like semi-recently, I don't know, within the last 6 months, and we kind of hooked up for the first time, and we're making out, and he's like, can I spit in your mouth? And I was like, okay, yeah, like fine. But then once I said yes, I swear to God, he started trying to like hock this fucking loogie of phlegm, and he's going like, and his head's bobbing him forward like a chicken, like like get like and I was literally like, oh my God, like what's coming? And I opened my mouth like a baby, like a baby bird, and like I'm doing it right now. Like my head went into my shoulders. I was like, no, and he's like, and then he goes, and I was like, no. I was there. I was like, the cartoon gulp. I was just like, Oh my God. And then I was just kind of like, oh, listen, I'm not really in the mood tonight. And then never spoke to him again and just sort of ghosted him, which I know is wrong. We're not advocating ghosting, but if someone hocks a loogie into your mouth.
Exactly.
Also, I was like, it's COVID. Like, like it's a pandemic. Like, don't fucking literally hock your COVID into the back of my throat, please. Disgusting.
Oh, I mean, the fact that you opened your mouth for that though, Mads, like you heard it coming.
I know, but the thing is, I said yes, and I was like, all right, I'll do this. I'll commit. Like it's gonna be okay. It wasn't okay, and then I felt weird. So that's something I've just been wanting to get off my chest. I actually can't believe I've told that story, but here we are.
I feel better for knowing.
So I'm hoping that the submissions that I have to share with everyone on the pod and with you, Nikki, are going to make that story look really PG. So I'll do the voice disguiser because people love it. Plus it's really funny and I like hearing my own voice in different forms. So this is the first submission.
My cat started gagging when me and my boyfriend were having sex, and it made my boyfriend projectile vomit.
So I don't have this. Like when I see people throwing up and then I throw up. But some people have this thing where if they smell, think about, see vomit, they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but I mean, do people have that with cats? Like,
I don't know. And the cat would have been going, bleh, bleh, bleh. You know how they go with their shoulders like
like going in reverse a bit.
Oh God. So I'm really sorry to whoever that happened to. I know who it happened to because it's not anonymous when you tell it to me, but don't worry, I won't share.
I mean, but also I do have a problem. The cat shouldn't be in the room.
Yeah, okay. This is another thing. Can you have sex with cats or babies in the room?
No.
It's weird. I think it's weird.
It's really weird.
Yeah, I think that the cats have had sex. Well, some cats. They know what's going on. And like if you look at a cat or a dog while it's doing a poo, it's like, don't look at me. I know this is embarrassing.
They stare you in the eyes like
they know.
Look away. Yeah.
They know stuff. So, I think it's traumatizing and it's weird for the cat. So the next submission is,
I told a random Tinder hookup that I loved him during sex by accident.
Oh no.
I feel like I've done this when I've been straight out of a breakup and I forgot how to have sex. Right, well, this is how I'm used to doing it, so that's my kink.
My love.
My kink is telling you I love you, so. Right, the next submission.
I was hooking up with a MILF in my hometown and milk unexpectedly started coming out of her nipples. I decided to just go with it and kept drinking the milk.
No.
This is a really good friend of mine that he actually didn't submit this to me. I just texted him and said, I'm putting this in the podcast because it's just funny. And do you know what? I think play on play, you've got to get your calcium somehow.
I mean, what do you do?
And also, why are you stealing a baby's dinner? That's not nice. That belongs to a baby, okay? Rude.
Breast milk is for baby humans only.
Baby humans only. And that baby was probably in the corner of that room like, hey, what the fuck? I'm drinking all my milk.
Have you seen this might be kink shaming. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the program on Channel 4 about the people who drink breast milk?
No, is it My Secret Addiction?
It's like it was just a one-off kink thing, and people like you can make yourself lactate even though you haven't had a baby, but you just have to like.
I've heard about this. Oh my God, I've heard about this.
The nipples.
Yep, I've actually had friends that have told me that if like their boyfriend has been going to town on their nipples, milk's come out, and they're just like they're like 24, never had a kid. It's just yeah. I mean, I don't have a boyfriend, but I might just try it on my own after this call. It's lunchtime on a work day, but guess what I'm going to be doing?
Yeah, housemate's like, there's no milk for the tea, and Mad's like, don't worry.
I got it covered.
give me an hour.
Right, here's the next submission.
I shagged a cleaner at a bottomless brunch under a stairwell and then found out he was a uni student.
I don't know why the uni student part is relevant. And like, it's probably just his side hustle as a uni student, just cleaning up at the bottomless brunch. But here's a list of things I don't want to do as a job. Be a cleaner at a bottomless brunch.
Oh, horrible.
Horrid. The next submission.
The bed fell through the floorboards to the lower floor, but we had taken acid and we thought it was a dream, so we just ignored it.
I have so many questions. What? First of all, what? Second of all, what? Like, what was on the lower floor? Was it another house? Like, was
this a submission from somebody living in the UK?
Yeah, so
it has to be, because no, houses aren't so shit in Australia. You just casually fall through to the next floor.
Oh my God, it's like something out of a movie. Anyway, there's so many questions, but they'll remain unanswered. So the next submission is:
went to spank her butt really hard, missed, and spanked my own right ball.
Oh, no.
So this is something I can't relate to, because I see these videos of guys getting sack tapped or, getting kicked in the ball, football in the balls, whatever. Apparently it is like the worst pain ever. And you roll on the floor and you're like crying and it feels like you're going to throw up. And like I've seen guys gag because they're just in so much pain. I can't relate. Nothing has ever hurt me that bad. And I've not had a kid.
I know. I can't imagine, like, maybe have you ever like been kicked really hard in the stomach with like a football or something?
Yeah, but I don't think it would be like that. I think it would be like, when you do a massive poo. You kind of cry, like your tears come out your eyes.
I don't know, like what width your poos are, Maddie, but they must be
about
8.
8-inch diameter poo. Oh, this is a fun episode. Right, here is the next submission. This one's foul.
Guy and girl had years of beef at my uni. Prom night they hooked up. The next day, he wakes up and she'd shat on his chest.
Oh, no.
The ultimate revenge. No.
Imagine just like, what did she do? Did she shit on his chest and then leave?
I think as revenge, like he woke up and he's like, oh, so glad we got that out of our system. Wait, where are you? And then looked down and there's a poo on his chest.
Imagine if he woke up like mid-poo.
Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Thought we'd put all this behind us.
Oh, that's foul.
Very good. Here's the next submission.
Hooked up with a guy who only had extra large condoms, and the condom was so big it just fell off onto the floor.
This is the same. This is what I've put into my work goals this year: is stop over-promising and under-delivering. You need to be realistic with what you're capable of. You need to be realistic with your goals. And then no one's going to be disappointed when you show up and a condom is so big it falls off onto the floor.
I mean, what was he thinking?
I don't know. Maybe he thought the girls would be impressed when they saw the size of the condoms, but then he forgot they were also going to see the size of his penis right after that. So
setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. So this is the second last submission.
In my single bed in uni halls, a guy grabbed a glass of water from my bedside table and poured water all over me while we were having sex. He thought it would be sexy, but my bed was just then soaking wet and we had to sleep in it.
Okay, this is something I'm going to say. There's nothing sexy about water and sex. Having sex in the pool or the beach, disgusting. Shower, hard to do, uncomfortable, really dangerous. Pouring a glass of water on someone in a bed, a single bed, unhygienic and really annoying.
So I would be so annoyed.
Mm-hmm. Fuming.
Like, you're not in a film. It's not in slow-mo. Like, just imagine like the whole glass just like psh, all over you. Like,
yeah, it would just be really fast. And then you're just suddenly soaking wet. And also, if you've just washed your hair, I'd be fuming.
Oh, I would be livid.
Yeah, fuming.
He would be paying for a blow dry.
Yeah, and I have a really good mattress. I've got an Emma mattress now, like I've like forked out to get a mattress.
All right, Maddie, way to flex on the pod.
I know, I'm flexing with my Emma mattress over here. But if someone even just like thinks about doing anything to my mattress, I'm like, you need to leave. This is the last submission, and this one is genuinely my worst nightmare because it incorporates two things that I don't like, men and insects. So here it is.
My boyfriend used to leave his window open at night, and while we were doing it, I felt something tickling my meat flaps, and it was a giant huntsman spider crawling over my vagina.
Oh,
what?
No.
What?
No.
I just have no words. Like, in England, you don't really have those big spiders, but in Australia, when I was home over Christmas, I saw like 2 spiders a week. Like there's loads of them, and they're fucking massive, and they're so gross.
So disgusting. For the UK listeners, a huntsman is like the size of your hand, like sprawled out.
So scary, and it's just the tickling for me because there's something so creepy about just a soft tickling spider.
That reminds me of Step Brothers.
Oh my God.
When she's saying, I'd roll you into a little ball and shove you up my vagina.
That's what that spider wants.
Every time I feel a tickle, I know it's your hair.
Well, guess what, hon? It's a bloody spider. So that's where we're at. That's all of the submissions. So I'd like to thank everyone and also shame everyone that submitted those submissions. But do you know what? It made my Hocking a Loogie submission sound way better. And I'm really angry that I've just brought that up again because now that's going to be left in your minds.
We'd all forgotten about that, Mads.
Yeah, well, it's back. So thank you so much, Nikki, for joining the pod. This has been probably, I say this every week. This is my favourite app.
Yay.
It's just because it's a new app and I'm like, new content by me. Oh, love you so much.
Love you.
I hope you enjoyed my chat with the lovely Nikki. If you have any stories or thoughts of your own to submit, please get in touch via my website. It's madsworld.co or my Instagram. It's @madsworld.mp3. Love and elbow taps. Peace.